It's difficult, bro. We gotta go somewhere. Me, you, and Brian.
Let's do it. I just hit the live, so
Let's go to Iceland.
I'm down. I'm always
see
down.
Jackie there.
We should be live now. Let's see. I think we are live now. We're just getting this put together. Yep. Yes, sir. Welcome to the podcast, guys, live. We're just getting things sorted out. Thank you guys for your patience. We know you've been waiting since 10. It is now a little bit after 11. So we're just finalizing a few things. Welcome, those of you who are just joining the live. We are the podcast guys, and we have the awesome Czar of Dating on the show tonight. This is Czar of Dating.
Caesar. That's how Hispanics say it. They call it Caesar.
Caesar? Oh, yeah, like Caesar. Welcome, guys, to the live episode.
All right, we're good to go.
I just can't find the. How do I
Chat?
find the? No, not the chat. Chat's here. It's How do I get the MONO?
I think it's on already.
It's on.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No?
It's not. Yeah. Is there a way to? We're just fixing a couple things, guys. We're gonna get right to it in a second. Does it maybe say anywhere?
I mean, he's right to an extent. I'm doing it because I get pleasure from pleasuring you. Call it giving energy, masculine energy.
Does it get her to respect you?
So if you do it, she's not going to respect you. She's going to look down on you. When in reality, if you know how to do it right, she won't be able to look down on you because her eyes will be rolling in the back of her head.
A lot of guys do it because they're hoping this girl that doesn't like me, she can now all of a sudden like me if I do a good job.
If she already doesn't like you, what's the likelihood that she's going to want you anywhere near her downstairs department?
So you put yourself in a submissive role.
Explain it to me, Lucy. I have a woman on my bed laying on her back with
Maybe
her
here.
legs spread. We have intercourse where I enter her with my Professor Roger Johnson, PhD. PhD standing for pretty huge dick. In that scenario, she's
It doesn't-
in the submissive role. However, if I swap this for this, I'm now in the submissive role. What happens in a 69? Is it a submissive stalemate? In reality, you're in the submissive position when she's performing oral on you.
So when I click it, it doesn't come up. Oh, there you go. Is it there? Yep, it's on. Sweet.
To be honest, it's none of my business whether you do it or not. However, you're choosing to post this type of content on your own social media. And you still didn't say why you don't do it. Can one of you just admit that the approval of other loser men is more important to you than desiring to provide pleasure to your partner in the bedroom? Don't you go down on girls? Oh, this should...
That's a good question, actually. Should you go down on girls? He ripped FitX apart.
Don't you go down on girls?
Oh, this should be good.
I don't go down on girls because
Yeah,
I
see
think
this.
the majority of the reason why men go down on women.
Classic deflection. He didn't ask you why the majority of men do it. He asked you specifically why you don't do it.
Is to please his girl.
Fellas, is it gay to want to provide pleasure to the
He's
woman?
actually right, though. Like, you don't do it to please your woman. It's always the attitude behind doing something. You know what I mean? If you do it because you enjoy doing it, you're going to please her much faster than the guy who's doing it to try to please her. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's just something you enjoy doing. You don't give a fuck
Of
if you're
course.
pleasing her or not.
Yep.
Of course, you have to enjoy it. That's the only way it's fun. But all right, guys, we are live. We were just fixing up some kinks, working some things out. Welcome to the Podcast Guys Live. We are actually live right now. Not the usual live where it's premiering. It's kind of live, but it's not. We pre-record. We are actually live. So welcome to the Podcast Guys with Rob and Nando. Before we introduce our special guest, our returning special guest, please make sure to subscribe to the channel on YouTube, The Podcast Guys. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, The Podcast Guys _ The Podcast Guys 5 on X. We're on Facebook, and we're on Spotify, The Podcast Guys as well. So check us out. And without further ado, I'm sure you guys know him, but just in case some of you don't, let's have our guest introduce himself. Welcome back.
Guess who's back? How are you guys?
Back again.
Thank you guys for having me. The Czar of Dating, also known as Czar Danya. Tonight, we got game for all these guys out here. So I'm on live Instagram right now. You guys can catch the full episode on their YouTube channel, Podcast Guys. Make sure you check it out. We're going live. And if you guys have any questions, ask them on their YouTube channel, okay?
100%.
Only way we're going to answer questions.
Yeah, guys, what you can do is be kind enough to super chat in a question. Could be any amount. Doesn't have to be anything big, but anything is appreciated just so we have some serious questions coming in and not just having, anybody comment some or ask some random stuff that, doesn't make sense to pay attention to. So make it count. Feel free to, if you have a question, we'll do a Q&A and have you guys ask anything you want to either one of us, especially Czar here, that is more than willing to answer your questions. So why don't we start off, in the meantime, while, people decide whether or not they'd like to ask a question. Current state of dating now. Dating is all over the place. It's a roller coaster ride. You don't know what happened yesterday. You don't know what tomorrow is going to be like. It's just a whole clusterfuck. So what do you guys think what the current state of dating right now in early 2025?
It is in shambles. Currently, the dating era in today's modern world is completely broken. It's in a deep pile of shit. And this is coming from many women that I talk to. Also, many men out there who agree as well that dating right now has just taken a downward spiral. But it is ruthless. It is heartless. It's getting much more challenging conquering the modern dating era. But the beauty to that is if you're one of the men that actually stand out and a woman meets you as if she's never met a guy like you in a long time, you're going to stand out from all these other men that are complete trash, according to women.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to do it. And to start, you have to put yourself out there. If you sit at home, as we say sometimes, guy sitting in his home or in his mother's home in his basement, her basement, watching, stupid movies, playing video games, eating like shit, drinking garbage, not exercising, you're going to go nowhere. So at least to start, you have to play, right? You have to put yourself out there so you can make something happen.
I think nowadays a lot of guys jump to YouTube for help when it comes to dating because dating's a struggle for a lot of men nowadays. And I think men look for kind of a blueprint. By the way, Czar, where could they find your program and your podcast?
That's right.
So we have the Players University right now with the Texting Prince and a couple other amazing dating coaches who are helping men each and every day having successful relationships, and the list goes on. So if you click the link in my bio or you go to czardating.com, you can join the Players University, get your degree in womanese, get your black belt in the art of flirting and the art of seduction. You need a good mentor if you want to be good at anything in life. And we're as real as we get. There's nothing fake about us. we're not doing this just for the money. We're actually creating results. We're helping men out there. So we take a lot of time out to help men succeed with women, with beautiful women. That's the end goal. And also make sure you get my free ebook, The Dark Psychology of Women. You can find that on my website as well, or click the link in my Instagram or go on my YouTube channel. But I wanted to get back to what you were saying. When guys ask, where do you meet women? It's such a stupid fucking question if you think about it. Where do you meet women? Where can I meet women? Because apparently I meet them everywhere I fucking go. I don't understand. Wherever there's humans, there's going to be women.
Don't we all, right?
Good point.
Whether you're at Quick Check, you're at the gas station, you're at Dunkin' Donuts, you're on an airplane and you sleep with the stewardess like I did coming back from Israel. Like, it's not that difficult to find women on a boat, on land, or in the air. Okay?
100%.
If you go out there, no beautiful woman is going to come crashing through your roof and land on your fucking laps. Like, it's not going to happen. But guys think that if they wait, the perfect woman is going to show up at their door and start ringing the doorbell. It's not going to happen. Newsflash. You have to get outside of your comfort zone. If you want something, you have to go out and get it.
Yeah. And I would say that's true now more than ever. I think with how competitive dating is right now, you know, I think we can agree that women aren't really going to be impressed by some average Joe Schmo or like some laid back. Like, you really have to, like, if you want to succeed in this, you really have to make a conscious effort to approach women, talk to women, get better at your social game, improve your confidence, because otherwise you just get passed by.
Yeah, and think about it. Women, they make their money. They can buy their own shit. So leading and going in with trying to woo her with your bank account is not going to fly. It's not going to work. She can buy herself the fancy dinner. She can buy herself the trip to wherever. Trip to the Caribbean.
Iceland.
Trip to Iceland, trip to Bali, wherever. So, you know, you have to be creative nowadays because, yes, women, they are looking for men with money, but there's a lot of guys with top dollar that the average guy just can't compete. Simply put, can't compete.
Why don't we start with this, right? Since this live stream is basically going to be about, you know, dating in 2025. Why don't we go around the table real quick? What do you think are some challenges that most guys are going to run into when it comes to dating? Most common ones.
Finding their confidence. I believe that's a big one.
Yep.
Because a lot of men don't have any type of confidence.
Yep.
Or high self-esteem.
Yep.
And it's probably the most important trait out of everything. Yeah.
In all aspects of life.
Yeah.
You need massive confidence.
Yep.
Yeah, to elaborate on that before I say mine, you need confidence, again, for anything and everything. So as you said in life, not just with women, if you're confident, let's say you do something well, right? At a job, at what, you know, you're good at, a hobby, whatever it is, take that confidence and bring it into the dating aspect in your life. For example, I was always a baseball player before. I'll play, you know, do it once in a while, but I don't do it as much now. But anyway, I used to be pretty good. And taking that confidence that I had into the dating world helped me out with women. So take something that you're good at, that confidence, not being good at that specific thing, just that mindset and confidence, take it into dating, and that's going to do you wonders. You're going to be able to woo any woman your way.
Lack of confidence is always going to equate to being desperation. When you lack confidence, you'll accept any woman that comes in your life. When you lack confidence, you'll cash up a girl money just to come see you. When you lack confidence, you pay for a girl's OnlyFans so she can make $45 million a year. That same girl can start a GoFundMe because she wants to make $100 million. You lack confidence, you're going to give her even more money. So you notice the downward spiral that happens when you don't have confidence or massive confidence, any type of confidence to begin with.
Yep.
And I believe that is the main issue with men in today's world. They don't go outside of their comfort zone. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't have any type of vernacular, any type of beautiful diction that they use with their words. They don't read any type of books. They're socially awkward. Everything's done through the screen. They don't know how to go up to a person, order something, be cordial, make a compliment. And they just keep shooting themselves in the foot. And I believe the social media was the worst thing that ever happened to the dating era.
Yeah.
The worst thing that ever happened.
Because it made people comfortable behind their screens. It took away the social aspect of it, like the actual the physical interaction with other human beings. It made people comfortable behind a screen.
It's crazy that people are going out there scared to talk to other people. Like, you're going out. You have no choice but to interact with other human beings. So what's that mentality that you have that you want to be all secretive and you want to walk by somebody with your head down and not say even hello or a smile, even if, it's a stranger? That mentality is showing you how scared you are of people. Forget having confidence. Just being able to not be scared, not be afraid, to be able to go out there and not be all nervous and shaky when you're talking to somebody. That's something that people have to work through because of, partly because of, again, what, not going to name it, but what happened 5 years ago, almost to this time, kept people inside their homes and not going out and talking to people and putting themselves out there and testing their confidence, testing their assertiveness, their aggressiveness, of course, in a positive way. So I think it's not an excuse, because people will use that as an excuse. And I'm saying that one reason because that's an excuse that people have to get over with. We're 5 years past. Right? So take advantage of the opportunities you have because the opportunities that you get don't come again, right? Time goes by.
For the men that are scared, right? Like you said, the men that are scared of approaching women. And this is what pisses me off the most because they're scared of getting rejected. They're terrified of a girl telling them no. They don't even know what to say. That girl that you're so scared of, she's more scared of you, of what you might do to her, than you should be of what she's going to do to you.
Keep that in mind. That's
Women
very
are
true.
more terrified of men approaching them than men should be terrified of approaching women.
Very good point. Valid point.
But if you have the balls and you have the confidence, you know when to pull the eject button. I know. If a girl's not feeling it, I'm not going to overstay my welcome so I can get some type of a charge. Peace. It was nice getting to know you. It was nice meeting you. I have to go. Guys just don't know when it's time to pull the eject button. And girls tell me these stories after the gym. Guys that get rejected, they'll run up to the girl's car. They'll start chasing her in her car while she's sitting. I was on the phone with this happening, with girls telling me this. Like, oh my God, this guy just ran out to my car, some foreign guy, and he's harassing me for my number. They're scared shitless.
Yeah, they're gonna call the cops. Forget about
Don't ever
trying to get the number.
Yeah, the first two digits in her phone are gonna be 9-1. But you guys don't ever run after a woman to get her number or to approach her. Number one, that's terrifying. Number two, that's aggressive. Number three, you're not gonna get any girl doing that.
No, definitely
It's
not.
not gonna happen.
And when I said aggressive in not like go after her and do what it takes to get her, and that's it. There's no other choice. But what I meant by that, by aggressive, is be aggressive with your mindset to decide, hey, I'm going to go up to this girl. I'm going to make this happen. If it doesn't work, that's a different story. It doesn't work, move on. But you're not, after you get rejected, you're not going to continue to be aggressive. So that's
you
what I
go
meant.
after what you want, but you have to do it in a smooth way. You have to do it in a smooth way. I love getting rejected because it makes me go back to the drawing board. Maybe I have to work on this now. Maybe I'm getting a little too comfortable.
100%.
Maybe I have to watch out with the way I say certain things.
And see, that's the great thing about getting rejected because it gives guys a chance to look back, if they can go back and see what they did wrong, because some guys may be like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. I went up to her and tried to approach her and talk to her, and she gave me the cold shoulder, and it was all her fault, not taking accountability. That's what you have to do. You have to take accountability, realize what happened, learn from your mistakes, and say, okay, I'm not going to do A, B, C again, and I'm going to work on doing D, E, and F better, for example. So,
Any guy that's struggling with confidence, especially like younger guys, I would highly suggest you to take a job in any type of sales. Any type of sales. Sell cars, sell electronics, sell real estate, sell anything. Because it throws you out into the real world. You deal with all different types of people and personalities, men, women, families. You meet nice people, you meet negative people, and you're forced. It's really like an analogy for the same thing you're dealing with. Like, you can assume everyone's going to tell you no. It's too expensive. I don't want it. I'm not interested. But it forces you to be put in a position where you have to learn to use your personality, use your social skills to turn it into a yes.
I worked. So guys just think I was always like this my entire life. Maybe on the inside until I uncovered it. But the best thing I ever did was work at a major fitness center before gyms became the new norm, being on every corner and all these different companies. I worked there from age 16 up until 21, 22. So those 5 years that I was at the front desk, meeting everyone, talking to women, talking to guys, meeting new people, working on my mouthpiece, it molded me into the person I am today because I had that opportunity to talk to every single person I could talk to. And then I started opening up and realizing I had a gift, like learning how to flirt with women, learning how to talk. And next thing you knew, I would have flocks of women waiting at the front desk for me. Like, everyone knew me. Everyone to this day knows me at that gym as the legend that ran that front desk. Because they would see a new girl waiting at the front to get my attention nearly every day they were there. There were some girls that would come in just to come see me. They wouldn't even work out. Even when I was closing the gym, I'm not going to tell you what we did there, but they would come just to see me. That's when I started learning game. And I was like, holy shit. Like, this shit is fucking easy if you know how to talk to women and you know how to carry yourself.
yeah, there's a process to it. If you know the steps, then eventually you can knock it down one by one. Each woman that you're interested, you can potentially have a shot at and get.
The best part was learning about pre-selection. That gym taught me about pre-selection. No matter how many girls I would have dying for my attention at that gym, all these other women still knew about it. And they were still fighting to get their chance to go out with me, or they wanted a piece of that action. So that's when I started learning how pre-selection is the most powerful tool there is when it comes to attraction, because it's the hardest one to fake. You can't fake pre-selection.
Absolutely not.
You can fake every single other characteristic that you have. But pre-selection, when women see other women attracted to you, you can't fake that.
Of course.
You can't fucking fake that. No matter how good of an actress they might be, unless if you're Dan Bilzerian and you're paying these women. But even women know when you go out with them, they notice these other women checking you out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They pick up on these little details. The way your woman is attracted to you is directly correlated with how many other women are attracted to you.
Boom.
Yep.
Right there.
If you're a guy that goes out with your girl and you can't get any heads to turn and look at you, this girl has no attraction for you. Because if other girls aren't checking you out and other bitches don't want you, my bad, other hoes don't want you, she's going to think to herself, why the fuck would I want this guy?
Yep.
If he can't even turn one fucking head. And that's why you always have to look your best. You always have to work out. You have to know how to talk to people. She has to see that you know how to make that barista laugh at the Starbucks.
They pay attention to those details.
She wants to know how approachable you are, how likable you are. Are people naturally gravitated towards you?
Yeah.
As they say, the proof is in the pudding, right? As corny as it sounds. If the proof is there, if there's other women that are checking you out and talking to you, interacting with you, flirting with you, and other women see that, they're going to be like, oh, well, I want that shit too. I want to be one of those women. As crazy as it sounds, it's competition. They want something. They see that somebody else has it. They see that it's a good thing that's going on, a good connection, good flirtation. Everything's great. That woman wants that too, whether or not she's single, right?
Yeah, when you're on a date, you better believe she's going to pay attention to how the waiter interacts with you, how if are other women looking at you, did anybody, you know what I'm saying? And that's another difference between men and women. Like, guys, we don't think about that. That doesn't even cross our mind. Like when you're on a date with a woman, you're not paying attention to like, are other guys looking at her or flirting with her? Women pay attention to details like that.
The second you go to a bar, to a restaurant, and she could feel the waitress's energy towards you. She could feel the bartender's energy towards you, how you got her to laugh. Maybe they're being a little flirty with you. Automatically, your attraction has now risen to a point where you basically don't even have to do anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to do shit. And that happened with the girl that left me because of the last podcast we did live. Shout out to you if you're watching this one. So when we went out to that bar in Brooklyn, I walk in, the hostess automatically started flirting with me. My game was on point. Good mouthpiece. Right? First date, I'm with this girl. So I'm letting her know who you're with.
Yep.
Compared to all the other fucking lames that you went out with.
Boom.
She seats us down. She's still flirting with me. Right? The girl mentioned this to me after. I wasn't flirting back. She thinks I was. Whatever. But as we're sitting on one of the couches, me and her are hooking up. She tells me, I can't believe how much that woman is staring at you right now. I was like, who? I didn't even notice. She said the woman waiting to go into the bathroom. Lo and behold, I look, her eyes just like glued on me, just undressing me with her eyes in front of my fucking date. Like, women notice everything.
Yes, sir.
Automatic. Did that piss her off, or do you think that made her more attracted to me?
100% more attracted.
It's the attitude you carry with you.
Women look for that social proof. It's something they need in that equation. Like when they see other women are looking at you or flirting with you or they notice you, they notice that shit.
And they want that too. They want it to be them. They see other women going through that. They see how much of a great time they're having and the great interaction and how things are building up and what could happen next. And the women want that too. They don't want the lame guy in the corner who isn't doing anything, isn't talking to anybody, is scared to talk to somebody, isn't working out, isn't taking care of himself, isn't focused, isn't confident. They don't want that guy. They want the guy. Think about it. You have a guy where a handful of women are flocking to, let's say there's 10 women, right? Flocking to that one guy is Mr. Popular for some odd reason. And then there's the one guy in the corner who's sipping on his pineapple juice wondering, what am I going to do tomorrow?
Wearing a Hawaiian t-shirt. One of those creepy guys.
If you walk into a bar and you stand in the corner with your beer for like an hour or two, you might as well just leave and go to another place. Because any girl there already scanned the room and saw you standing there. Like if you've been there for 2 hours, you might as well just bar hop and go somewhere else.
Well, you shouldn't have even shown up in the first place. You don't go to a bar if you're not ready to go for a bar.
You have to jump into social interactions. If you should already be in a social interaction within like a minute or two of walking into a place, in my opinion.
Easy line right here. You're at a bar. Cute girls next to you. Who cares? Could be a group of people next to you. You could look at them or say out loud, who do I have to show my tits around here to get a drink? Right? As if you're waiting for a drink or for a long time. You say that the right way, you already broke the ice with the girl next to you.
I like that
She
one.
laughed at it. Now she knows you're bold. You have a great attitude. Because women all want a guy who is filled with radiant energy, but he has a mixture of all these other energies combined.
Yeah. Exactly.
Into that one energy mixture. She has everything she can get from him. Not the Debbie Downer, not the sad dude who's like miserable and negative. Women are all about emotions.
Yeah. All about feelings.
If you're the guy that has that good positive energy and you're giving her that emotional roller coaster, that is a fucking drug
Exactly.
to a girl that money can't buy.
Energy's passed on. So if you pass on the good energy, she's going to radiate that back to you. Plain and simple. But if you're all negative and, you're going around all like you're not going to accomplish shit in life, then she ain't going to want to be with you. She ain't going to be around you. It's plain and simple.
So any guys that are watching maybe right now that struggle with confidence, what advice would you give to them? Like guys that just aren't maybe confident opening up a conversation, approaching it. What would you say are the first steps for them to improve?
Start going outside of your comfort zone. Go do things that you don't want to do because it terrifies you.
Yeah.
If you're scared to talk to people, go talk to the cashier for a couple minutes. Go talk to the barista, small talk. If you're nervous at first, it's okay, but 2 minutes, that's all you need. You don't have to sit there, talk to them for 5-10 minutes, tell them your entire life story. Make some bold statements. Say things that stand out, that grab intrigue and interest. Don't be boring. Spice it up a little bit. So I'll give you a great example. If I ask a girl what her nationality is and she tells me, let's say, we'll say German or something, or if she says Russian, you could tease her and say, I knew I saw your picture on the America's Most Wanted poster. Right? You're saying something bold.
Yeah.
But you're breaking the ice.
You're
It's
breaking
funny.
the ice. You turn something negative, something boring, into excitement now.
You gave her a little emotional spark. Boom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this guy's different.
You got
How many guys are saying that?
Yeah, you've got each other's attention now. Everybody's now into each other. Now you can kind of start getting into the motion of, okay, let me talk to her. Let me flirt with her. Let me say a couple more funny jokes. Keep breaking the ice. And you keep breaking through. Work your magic. It's going to be great.
That's a great line for all of you, by the way, especially on dating apps. So when you ask a girl what her nationality is on a dating app or even in person, no matter what they respond to, say this. I knew I saw your picture on the America's Most Wanted posters around town. I knew you were trouble.
How dare you?
And then watch their reactions, and you can role play now.
I'm glad you said that because I think a common mistake guys make is they try to reply to questions or whatever too logically, and that's a very easy way to have a boring conversation. It's not about, with women, it's not about having a logical back and forth conversation. It's about emotional spike, making it interesting, funny, saying, right? Like
100% role playing, saying things that are funny, interesting.
And the thing is that anything can make women look at you as boring. So you want to keep everything spiced up nicely, right? Like you could talk, and sometimes I even catch myself talking in this monotone voice and I don't have any energy and blah, blah, blah. It's not going to work. You have to be really outgoing, even if at times you don't feel like it. Sometimes you kind of have to do things that you don't feel like doing to be able to get the girl.
I didn't want to approach beautiful women throughout my entire life. Like, it was terrifying. I didn't want to fucking do it. But I knew if I didn't approach her, someone else was going to try fucking her.
Yeah.
So why not that be me?
Yeah.
At least I won't go out like a coward. I went up to her, and I feel 10 times better instead of thinking about the outcome or the what ifs.
It's a great point. It's a great point. If it's
Sometimes
not
you date these women,
Yeah.
and you have great relationships with them. But you always have to know who your customer is. When everyone is your customer, no one is your customer. So that means make a list of all qualities you want in a woman, because that right there is going to create a beacon for you, because you will attract those types of women
that's what you want
when you have high standards. Most guys fuck up today, and it's worse than ever, because they'll either, number one, settle with a woman because they're too scared of being alone, or number two, they get in relationships with women based off of their outer appearance or the hotness that they have.
Yeah.
How hot is this woman? But they neglect her character.
Yep.
How is her character? Does she have good character? Are you guys compatible? Is she adding value to your life? Because any woman that's not adding value to your life, she's taking away value from your life. That's how it works.
Yep.
I want all of you guys, late at night, ask yourself this question. If you guys are in miserable relationships or you settled with a woman because you were too scared of being alone, what value does this woman add to my life? If you can't think of anything positive, at least 3 or more things, she has taken away value from your life. You shouldn't have to think about that for a long time.
Yeah.
A beautiful woman is more dangerous who has a bad character than you being single your entire life.
Yeah.
She could ruin you.
That one woman can wither you away until there's nothing left of you, or that woman could push you to have health issues, especially with stress being toxic. The negatives that come with it, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, never having peace in your life. I'd rather be single.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think you're making a huge point. You know, I think as a man, like, and this is something you just learn with experience, with age. It's like a wisdom thing. Like, if you just allow a woman to be toxic, to make your life difficult, to disrespect you just because she's hot, that's gonna end bad 10 out of 10 times. And you have to, as a man, like, put your foot down. When women disrespect you or act out of line, you have to nib that in the bud right away, because I'm telling you, every time you let that slide, it's just going to get worse. And that's a huge point.
I'll tell you guys an indicator, okay, of how do you know if this girl is truly the one for you? Like, how do you know she has good character, good morale, she's beautiful inside and out, you guys are compatible, she's everything you want? Ask yourself this question. Could you bring this woman around kings and queens, and would she be able to fit in easily around those types of people? Could you trust her to fit in around those types of people? Or is she going to act out of line, out of character? Are people going to judge her for how promiscuous she looks or the way she's acting?
A woman that doesn't embarrass you is a woman that you want to keep around.
100%.
Yeah.
Because if she's out there to basically, in a different way, ruin your life by putting baggage out there that you don't want out there, putting business out there that you don't want, just embarrassing you and shining a light on you that shouldn't be shined in that moment in time, forget about it. She's just gonna screw your, more than your peace. She could screw with your money. It could be, you could have your boss around. She can get you fired. She can get you in trouble, maybe with family. You don't want a woman that's not going to bring you peace. That's going to bring you. You want a woman that's going to bring you happiness. You want a woman that's going to add to your life, as you mentioned before. You need a woman that's going to bring you value. And if you don't see that value there, then what's the point of having her around? Give her a shot. Give her a chance to show that value. It's only fair, right? You can't go off of, if it's a woman that it seems like, okay, she's worth taking serious, give it a few dates, right? Give it a few, maybe weeks, couple months, see where things go, see how things progress. But if you don't see that value being reciprocated, that value that you're providing to her not being reciprocated back to you, why is she around?
I'll give you another very simple one. Is it a woman that you would trust to leave alone in your own home?
Or I'll give you
Would
one.
you trust her?
I'll give you one even better.
I'm going to work. Stay at my house. Here's the keys.
Yeah. Or I'll give you one even better. My best friend is coming by to fix the plumbing,
the pipe.
the pipes, right? That's a perfect one, the pipes. And basically, I have to go to work. You need to maybe stick around, and if he needs assistance, help out or something. And let's see if I can trust you with that task. Obviously, you're not saying that to her. You assume that best friend, plumber, girlfriend, wife, whatever the case may be, you have to go to work or you have to go take care of something else. You have that trust. Now, if she has not even a slight intention of betraying that trust, you got yourself a solid woman right there.
If, like I said, guys, there's a cliche, right? Opposites attract. But how compatible are opposites? Do they really have a loving, fulfilling relationship? Because I disagree. I don't think opposites attract. Because you want to have a girl that you not only have chemistry with, but you have compatibility with. You want a woman you're compatible with, who has the same interests, the same hobbies, the same goals you have, without you needing to change anyone. Because a lot of guys will settle in hopes of changing this woman so she suits him and his needs in his life. And it never works out that way. You can't settle with the girl and then change her so she suits your liking.
Yeah, it's
when
not,
you could find a girl that suits all your likings without you settling, as long as you have some standards. But guys are either afraid of commitment or they're fearful of being alone for the rest of their lives.
boom, right.
Trust me, I had a fear of commitment. I was fearful of being committed to a girl and being loyal, trustworthy, everything that comes in a relationship. But I think the worst part is someone that has a fear of being alone, because you're going to settle with anyone and everyone.
Yeah, you can't be scared to be alone, because then you're going to just pick whoever just to settle because you need to settle. And then if you pick the wrong woman, then you're screwed, because let's say you go deep enough into the relationship that you're married, right? It's going to be a big problem, because then if you try to, let's say it doesn't work out, try to get divorced, you separate. You can't even think about doing that, because there's no advantage to you and to any men out there to get divorced, to break anything off, because you lose your house, you lose half your bank account or more, alimony, right? Child support, cars. I mean, there's everything to lose.
I just saw a podcast, and apparently there was this guru on, and they asked him, "Oh, do you think a relationship is repairable if the woman cheats on her man?" He's like, yeah, of course it's repairable. And he goes on this whole nonsense and spiel, and I'm like, bro, like, this is the issue in today's world. You have people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, like that guy, and they spread this bullshit that makes other people believe it. If a man has conquered your woman, if another man has conquered your woman and she cheats on you, it's game over. You don't repair shit. You don't try to repair what's already fucking broken.
You don't go back.
You don't go back.
You don't go back.
I don't care how much you pay a dating expert for your fucking advice. Because I'd give you your money back and I'd tell you, leave her. It's over.
Plus, once you let a woman get away with cheating, disrespect, once you let her do it once, you just indirectly taught her that you let that shit
They
slide.
just become better at it.
They just become better at it. And it will, the more passive you are in the long term, the more she will up the ante with the disrespect, with the cheating, with not taking you seriously. You better believe it.
When I would have married women cheating on their husbands back in the day, the amount of shit that they would talk about their husbands it's something I couldn't fathom. The amount of disrespect that would come out of their mouth towards their own husbands.
Screw the amount of shit that they only talk about their husbands. How about the shit that happens behind the husband's back nowadays? All the cheating, all the unfaithfulness, all the bullshit. That's one big thing, but there's way more happening. So it's worse. It's worse.
I just think women don't get caught. They don't get caught as much as men do.
100%.
Women they're more like gatos. I don't want to compare them to cats or YouTube's going to ban the video. Women are more like gatos. They're like kitties, okay? When they do their business, they do it in private. They go to their litter box. They don't want anyone to see. When dogs do their business, it's out in public. They don't care where it is.
True.
On the carpet, outside, on the lawn, on the steps. They don't care. But women are very careful. I had this one woman when, after we were about to leave the hotel the next morning, she had this whole story made up with her best girlfriends already. You know, if my husband calls, tell him I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
If my husband calls, I was here. If my husband calls, I slept over at your place. Like, you guys, women have their game plan all set up already.
They have a plan.
They're not like men that are fucking stupid, where they'll call your boy up and he's like, what are you talking? I was never with him. These girls, they're like, yeah, I was with her. Oh, my God, we had such a great time. She's sleeping over right now. She's not even there. But girls have girl code. They know how to have each other's backs. And I've seen this firsthand, how it works and the operation behind it. It's a big operation, but it's very organized, and it gets shit done.
When it comes to cheating and sneaking around, they have this shit down to like a science. They are 100 times better at it than men will ever be. I know a woman that's married, and I don't know how she even pulled this shit off. She went on she went internationally, and the boyfriend called her, and like it was like a dog barking. She's like, "Yeah, I'm here. Can't you hear him barking? I'm over here at the my parents' house." And like she was in another country and told this guy some bullshit story. It's crazy, and all the other girls are in on it.
And the problem is that there's guys that will believe it. They'll fall for the bullshit. They won't see through it. Why don't you investigate more? Figure out what's going on, because if you're taking your time to invest your money, resources, time, energy into this woman, then you better freaking figure out if you're going to get what you deserve. And just the basic natural requirements, such as not cheating, right? Telling the truth, respect, being faithful, just all these things that women should naturally be accustomed to doing because they have someone that they're in a relationship with. So it's just the right thing to do. But women don't do it. That's a problem.
But that's what happens when you don't have experience as a man dating women. And I said this prior, men need experience. We need to learn via experience. We need to get burned. We need to be rejected. We need to be cheated on. We need to be with the toxic woman that we didn't know was toxic. But you go through these situations and you know which red flags to look for now. Like, holy shit, she reminds me exactly like that one chick that robbed me. Exact same characteristics. Oh, no, I heard this story before. So you put the puzzle pieces together. You make a list of all the qualities you want in a woman, in a beautiful woman. And if a girl doesn't check mark all those qualities, don't even fuck with her. Yep. Don't get in a relationship with her. Mine are good character, compassionate, caring, has gracefulness, feminine, walks with feminine grace, not on any types of medication like antidepressants, Xanax, none of that bullshit. Rarely drinks alcohol, if ever, doesn't do drugs or drink or smoke weed. Like, my list is loyal. She respects men. She has a great respect of men. Because a woman that doesn't respect a man, especially her own father, you think you're going to change her mind?
Forget it.
You think she's going to respect you?
Those
if
are the worst ones.
she's at home reading a 500-page feminist book, you think she's going to change for you?
No.
No.
No chance.
Well, that's a great warning sign right there. If there's issues with anything father-related, right? We'll call them daddy issues, as they like to say. If there's no father in the picture, or if the father was in the picture, they didn't have a good relationship, whatever the case may be, that's a sign right there. How will she treat you if you can see the signs of how she feels about her father, or what she thinks about the father that was never in her life or was in her life for part of the time, so that's one of those things that, women have to battle with.
So the whole father thing, I look at it as a positive, because any girl that grew up without a father, you could be that father figure in her life she never had. You understand how I can turn that into a positive?
Good point.
Now, I'm the leader that she was supposed to have since birth, and she adores me for that. Okay? So there isn't a blueprint of just because she doesn't have a father, she's not going to do well with you. It's always the way they talk about men and their fathers. Mm-hmm. Listen to how a person says something, not what they say. Do they have disdain for their father? Do they talk about him in a negative light? She's going to have disdain for you. She's going to disrespect you.
Yeah.
No matter what the father did to her. But I believe that a woman growing up without a mother is far worse than her growing up without a father. Because a woman without a mother, she doesn't know how to love. She doesn't know how to care. She doesn't know how to be tender.
Never grew up around a feminine role model.
Exactly. I believe that does more damage to a woman not having that loving, nurturing role model in her life than her not having a father.
Yeah.
Now, in a son's life, I believe it's the opposite. I believe not having a father is worse than him not having a mother.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think we can all agree on that, because you have to have that masculine role model. You have that growing up without a father. You're going to be missing out on a lot of crucial parts of growing up, and just the steps of learning masculinity as you get older. And that's how unfortunately, a lot of men grow up being feminine because they just never had it in their life. So
The thing about not having a dad for a man is not good. It's not good to not have that example, because a father is going to teach their son how to be a man, how to deal with the BS that men have to deal with in the world. See, the thing is that, again, men are only loved with the conditions that they can provide. So what do fathers do? They show their sons how to provide. They lead by examples. They say, son, no woman is gonna love you like, at least like your mom, right? No woman's gonna love you like your mom. And you need to find a way to make sure you love yourself more than a woman is gonna love you, because again, nowadays women love material things versus their own partner.
Social media. All goes back to social media. Let me tell you something about these Instagram models and these women you guys are all scared of. I promise you, maybe over 80% of these girls that you guys are scared of that are Instagram models that look beautiful are one fucking paycheck away from being homeless.
facts.
And you guys have to see through that bullshit and understand that. She's not better than you in any way. You shouldn't be scared of her. They're one paycheck away from being fucking homeless. Everything is a facade on social media.
I was just about to say, most of their life is a
Everything.
facade. Like what you see on Instagram, their little stories and videos and their vacations and all that shit. That's just what they're showing you. You're not seeing. You know, it's funny we're talking about this because when we were in Miami, we actually met up with this one girl who supposedly made like $200,000 a year on OnlyFans. We went to her apartment in Miami. The apartment probably cost like $4K a month. The place was a total dump. There was no food. It was fucking messy. She lived like she was fucking homeless. But she supposedly made all this money. And like, you know, if you go on her Instagram, you would think the total opposite. It's all just like Fiji and islands and yachts and shit.
The most lavish life.
If you got to know these, like to your point, a lot of these Instagram models, how they actually live, you would really be surprised. They're not living this lavish lifestyle. So,
No, if you could see inside of a woman's soul,
yeah.
if you actually didn't pay so much attention to her outer beauty and how hot she is, if you guys could see the souls
Yep.
of these women, you would be so fucking repulsed.
Yeah.
You would want nothing to do with her. Don't look at her physical features when you're talking to her, when you're out on a date with her. Look at her eyes. What do her eyes tell you? That's the most important part that a woman has, is her eyes, the windows to the soul.
Yeah.
The illusion that women get is how their beauty, how they look, because they may have a beautiful face, beautiful body, maybe even, you know, a decent personality, some of them. But then the more you get to know them, the more you find out more BS, and you find out more BS, and you find out more garbage. And you find out that deep down, there's no good heart or good soul. It's just something made out of coal, something dark. And you don't want to be around a woman like that. She's going to bring you down to the depths of hell.
Does she have a heart of gold? And this is a dead giveaway. A lot of compassionate, feminine, nurturing women, they give back to the community. They'll either work at some hospital doing therapy, they're a psychiatrist, or they're helping out certain patients that went through trauma. They're working for a cat foundation, dog foundation, anything to give back, volunteering at the church. That's a woman in her feminine nature.
Yeah.
That's a
huge.
good sign to look out for. A girl that is compassionate about making the world a better place.
Yeah, I think someone that's like a nurse, medical assistant.
No,
type.
no, don't go that far.
Oh,
we're
no,
not going to go.
not nurse?
We're not going to say nurses. No,
Well,
because
I
we know all too much about nurses.
I mean, I think nurses, yeah, they're unfaithful, so they're along the lines of that. But if you're, I guess, more of a caretaker type person, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at. That's something that, okay, you care about people, you care about human beings that way. I think that's a woman to have around.
She has a heart of gold.
That's important because it's just sad to say, but more and more as we go in day by day, there's just women with lost women.
They're becoming soulless.
Lost souls.
As the days go by, they're all becoming soulless.
Yeah.
There's good women out there that they turn into something bad because they saw a bad example or they just got sucked into the BS.
Let me ask you guys a question because I know this has been a controversial topic for a while now. Let's get into the whole like passport bros thing. We all know what it is. Guys are getting on planes going to Colombia. What are some other countries? Thailand, Croatia, Poland, Philippines. What's your take on it? Do you think it's a right move? Do you think it's a shallow thing? Like, what's your take on it? I want to hear what you guys have to say. I have mixed feelings on it, and I'll tell you why, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
So you guys heard my rant about the passport bros and how angry I was.
Yes, we did.
Passport bros is for men that can't attract women locally, so they have to go find it elsewhere because they're easier, and now they can look at them as if they're kings because of all this materialistic wealth they have. So they basically think that they're playing the game on easy mode with some cheat code, but in reality, the woman that ends up manipulating them marries this cuck. She's the one that found the cheat code. She's the one that is playing the game on easy mode because it starts with you bringing her over to America. Then, once she sinks her fangs in, oh, listen, my sister wants to come here too now, and she needs a place to stay. Oh, my mother wants to come here as well, so you have to get her a place to stay in an apartment. Guys don't think about that shit. They don't. It's just slowly over time, they're sucking the blood out of you. And I know this because I know people that this has happened to.
Guys let it happen. And they shouldn't let it happen.
I was going to say, I think passport bros, it's only a short-term solution type of thing. Like, you have to just take it for what it is. You are going to another country to have your fun, and that's it. By no means should you try to date or bring them back, to your point, back to this country, because I could tell you firsthand, I'm Polish. I see it happen with Polish women all the time. When they're in Poland, they act completely different. They come to the U.S. 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and they are now like the rest of these women here. So if you're going to do it, I have nothing against it. Just take it for what it is. It's a short term. Go out, have your fun. One of my friends is actually in Thailand right now. Go there for a week or two, but forget. Don't look at it as like, oh, you're a big shot there and you're going to bring her back here and you're going to have a feminine woman with international values, because that's not what's going to happen. She will be westernized and she will turn into one of these 3 or 4s.
How about
100%.
this? Yeah, how about this, Czar? How about a woman that's over there at in their country, and then the passport bro goes there and stays there with her? They try to create something there. What's your thoughts on that? Instead of bringing her over to the West, getting her Americanized, and then having her change her whole mindset and use him and abuse him, how about him going over there and creating a life with a woman there?
Once again, if you have game and you have experience with women, you're going to get women everywhere you go naturally. It doesn't fucking matter if she was Americanized or she had the parasite we call feminism put inside of her brain, because those are most of women that match with me on dating apps. And I have a shirt that says toxic masculinity on it. I wear a muscle tee with toxic masculinity on it. I have that as my profile picture. And you'd be surprised how many of those same feminists, those same westernized women still find me attractive. So the point I'm trying to make is, doesn't matter where you fucking go. Mm-hmm. If you have game, if I go to Colombia, I start my business there, I'm going to meet a lot of women that I know are going to be attracted to me because of who I am, not because of what I can provide her.
Huge, yeah.
Especially if I learn the language in a year or two, I'll be speaking Espanol. Tus pantalones es muy mojado. Shit
Mucho
like
mojado.
that. Mucho mojado. Tú quieres caliente carne inyección.
She's going to get that ropa vieja.
That's it, the ropa vieja.
She's gonna
So
get
it's all about your attitude. If you go there in hopes of marrying the perfect woman and you have no game and she knows you're a Westerner, She knows that you're going to provide for her. You're her way out. You're her fucking or her ticket for her way out. Maybe her children. She will do whatever you want her to do. She'll wear a mask. She'll put her best foot forward.
Yeah, 100%.
And then once you bring him over here, or once she's done with you, or she meets a you, she meets a you, and she meets a moi, a me, game over.
Boom.
Most of the passport bros shit, you just have to take it for what it is. It's basically prostitution. Don't go there thinking like, oh shit, like I'm a hotshot over here. Like all these women are Colombia, all these women are coming up to me. No, because what you're saying is valid. If you bring them here, they're going to be predatory. They're going to look at you. They're gonna be like, I need papers. I will do and say, I'll do everything this guy needs just to get what I want. And once they're here, it's game over. So just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, there are women that they know what's going on. You go over there to a Colombia, to a Thailand, to a Philippines, Brazil, Puerto Rico, wherever it may be that you go to. And they are ready. They know that the guy that's coming is a tourist. He's American. He's from the West. Let me take advantage of this guy. Let me see what I can get from this guy. And guys go over there innocently, hoping to make some magic happen. But the only magic that happens is maybe they lose an important watch or a wallet, or, worst thing that, that could happen, we don't want to see ever happen, is that they get hurt over something silly. We've seen guys that get drugged. There's so many things that could happen. But there's the other side as well for the guys that are wondering, that are looking for hope, that they feel that they don't have hope from women here in the West, that they say, oh, well, these, I've tried with 50 different women, guys that do have some sort of game, and they've just had enough. If they take that somewhere else, do you think they'll be better off?
I'm just so confused, because how come I'm meeting all the beautiful feminine women then? Like, how am I meeting all these beautiful feminine women? Right? Yeah. It baffles my mind. Instead of going to another country, giving up everything you have, leaving your family just to find a better woman, if you built yourself to be the best man and you wrote down your standards that you expect in a woman, once again, you're going to attract those types of women. It doesn't matter where you are. Now, let's say if you are in a less populated area, let's say you're in the backwoods of fucking Wisconsin.
Yep.
Okay. You have some moving to do. We understand that.
You have to progress.
Unless it's going to be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere in a horror film. Like, just move to New Jersey. Go to outskirts of New York. Go to other heavily populated areas where you're not in a fucking cabin in the woods by yourself, expecting a woman to run through the woods and having you save her from some idiot chasing her, as if that's ever going to fucking happen.
A lot of people throw this argument that dating is a numbers game. Do you believe that men should kind of take this approach of like, let me date or kind of like hit up as many women as I can to experience it and finally choose what I want? Or is it more about being selective? How would you approach it? What advice would you give to?
So when we didn't have all this information growing up. Mm-hmm. So guess what we had to do? We had to play the numbers game.
Yep.
Go through all these heartbreaks.
Yep.
Go through a woman cheating on you. Go through that toxic hoe that robbed you. Yep. We had to go through all that shit because we didn't have any mentors. We didn't have any books we could read. But now when we give out the information and tell you to learn from our experiences, these are the red flags. If a woman says this, she means this. Be on the lookout for when a girl says this. Now we can teach you guys and coach you how to stay away from certain women, so you don't have to play the numbers game. But you have to be more of a sniper, where you know what your target is, you go after what you want, and you're really good at getting it.
Yeah, I mean, the experience that we've dealt with growing up, now, being where we are in life, it helps. And that's the thing that men have to get. They have to go out there and get the experience. They have to get things in motion where they are what we said earlier. They are trying. They are approaching. They are going up and failing. It's okay to fail because that is how you learn. You learn by failing. I always tell guys, try to talk to a woman, fail, and be happy that you failed because then you figure out, okay, well, this wasn't the woman for me because maybe she would have moved forward with you in going out on a date, whatever the case is, but deep down, how did she really feel? She let that be known right then and there. So you saved yourself, number one, from that woman. Number two, you learned some things that you could pick up for the next round. And, along with, of course, experience. And now you know a little bit better what to look for. You're not behind. Now you're a little bit ahead of the guy that didn't try, the guy that is still stuck in his mother's basement, eating chocolate ice cream, smoking pot, and drinking alcohol. So there's a lot of things that you could do and progress, but if you fail, you fail. That's what you have to do to progress.
I don't believe there's such a thing as failure, because through every failure is a lesson. Now, what you'll notice is when you go through that failure, the lesson you learned is far greater than the failure itself. There's always a lesson to be learned. Through every failure in your life, there's an equivalent seed of success. And Napoleon Hill says that.
And I should have said it a second ago. It's either you win or you learn. So it's not
you learn.
It's not you win or lose. It's win or learn. So take that failure that you think you failed and turn it into something positive. Turn it into more attempts, more approaches, and more lessons. And then take those lessons, and maybe you'll find you're not going to find a perfect woman because there's no 10 out of 10, but maybe you'll find that 9.5 that looks great, has a great personality. She's funny. She's into you. It's all working out. You work your magic. Boom. Right there. Now you can move on to the next steps.
I think the only way to really become confident in anything, whether it's dating, business, friendships, you have to do it over and over again. Step out of your comfort zone. And where does the confidence really come from? It's from proving to yourself that you can get it done. I think where a lot of lack of confidence comes from is just lack of experience. You're not confident because you haven't proven to yourself that you can do something, if that makes sense.
100%, 100%. Before we keep going here, quick pause in the action. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Support your boys. We are here, and we are having a good time teaching you some game. We have Czar here. He came all the way up to teach you guys game, to help you guys, to motivate you guys, to change lives. We're here to change lives. We come from good. Again, we're not to hate on these other podcasts, but this is a natural, really real, authentic advice that we're giving you here based on the time that we've had the podcast, based on the time that Czar has been putting into what he's done, and take advantage of it because there's not many of us out there. We're bringing girls on too. So if you guys haven't watched those yet, check some of those out. You'll see how we treat the ladies with respect. We give the ladies a spotlight. A lot of people like to say, oh, well, these guys are misogynists, just like some of the other podcasts. No, we're trying to bridge the gap. We're trying to really help both men and women come together because it seems like there are other podcasts out there where they're putting hate on women, they're shaming women, and it's making people go their own way. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of this. Follow Czar. Czar, again, you want to drop your links?
Yes, so you can follow me at Czar of Dating, CZAR of Dating on Gmail and Facebook, X, all the outlets, YouTube. We're giving you guys this real certified G game. So shout out to the podcast guys. Thank you once again for having me. We're going to keep teaching you guys the real game that no one else is teaching you.
Yeah, guys. So, again, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on the podcast, guys, on Instagram, TikTok, and Rumble, the podcast guys _ Facebook, the podcast guys, and Spotify. If you want to listen to us, hopefully we don't get anybody in trouble at work, but if you don't want to watch us at work, don't watch us, don't get in trouble, listen to us on Spotify. So we're on there as well. But again, guys, give us that support. We're trying to get over 1,600 here on the podcast. We're trying to grow. It'll help us grow the engagement. If anybody has questions, this is a Q&A. Definitely, we'll only look at anybody who super chats in the question. So if you feel like doing it, great. If you don't, no problem. We're just going to keep doing our thing here. And on to the next. So what do you guys think men should have as far as expectations for dating in 2025? Now, we've talked about the state of dating so far. How about how men should move forward? What should guys do to really have themselves a good year with dating?
Study the game. Study to the things we're teaching you. Listen to the podcasts, especially the Full Armor of Game with myself and Texting Prince. Every week on Spotify and Apple Music, we teach you guys over an hour of very in-depth game that a lot of other guys aren't doing. So make sure you're always on top of things. Improve the way you speak. Public speaking is very important. The way you speak to women and people in general is very important. The best way to learn how to public speak and become a better speaker is by reading books and reading them out loud to yourself. It's the best way to become better at speaking and with your words.
That's it.
Because it will transition into the outside world. When you talk to women, they can tell you're very intellectual, you're very intelligent. They could tell you read books. Another thing, make sure you guys are working out. You have to work out. Most of your confidence will come from you working out. Surprise, surprise, right? When you look good, you feel good, motherfuckers. That's how it works. If you're eating like shit, you look like a fat slob, you're depressed, you play video games, you're on Pornhub 30 times a day, you're not going to get any women. I hate to burst your bubble. It's not going to happen. But the guy that's out there bettering himself, he's doing approaches, he's saying, hey, how are you, to women he's walking by, making eye contact, practicing, you're always going to win. Just always go out, always practice. There's always an opportunity to flirt with the barista, to flirt with the cashier, to flirt with the woman that's in front of you standing in line. There's always great opportunities for you to practice your lines or the game that you have. And you will stand out. Most women nowadays, they don't have a connection with the guy they go out with.
Yeah.
There's no more connection anymore. If you learn how to build connections with a woman, we talked about that, be a big ball of positive energy. That's very attractive and contagious. Women want to feel good all the time, and you have to be the guy that makes them feel good. So there's a lot of road bumps that guys are going to go through. I believe it's going to be even more ruthless than it ever has been because of social media, because of all these outrageous standards that women claim they have, because of all these other gurus that are coming out and flaunting their nice cars, all this cash they have. It kind of makes men feel disappointed in a sense.
Yes.
They don't feel like they have enough.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they can get women unless they have
A Lambo.
And let me tell you guys that's all superficial. And most of those guys, it's all a facade.
Yep.
It's all fake. That woman they have in the videos is fake. The fucking cars they drive are fake.
Yep.
The amount of money they claim they make is fake. It's all fake bullshit.
Fake or rented, right?
Rented.
That Lambo is rented.
None of them have more game than you guys do. I promise you that. None of these famous people you see on social media, they don't have better game than I know you're capable of having. And you don't need a Lambo to have game. You don't need a mansion to have fucking game. You don't need to be making thousands of dollars a month to have game and attract women. These guys lose women left and right, and these women are just using them for money, for that status, to raise their OnlyFans. They're using these men. so they can make more money off them, or
Yep.
because they just love attention.
Yeah, anything that women can use men to get an advantage for, they're definitely going to take that advantage. They're definitely going to put that foot forward and say, oh, what can I get from this guy? And then they're going to hang out with him. They may not screw him, right? They may not be in bed with one another, but he may be a cool pen pal. He may be a friend. And guys get suckered into that. And what I tell guys is you have to watch that, because if you feel like you're getting used, you, in a way, are getting abused. And you have to get out of that to get better, to improve with women. And the other thing that it does make me kind of, I don't get, not necessarily sad, but I feel bad for the guys out there, because as you mentioned, Czar, there's a lot of guys that are flaunting their money, their status. Oh, look how badass I am and all this stuff. The average Joe Schmo guy who is trying, who's working hard, who's going to the gym, who is working on his confidence, who's working on talking to women, and that guy is failing because some other guy has some more money, or some other guy has the better car, or some other guy just does it better in bed. That's what kind of makes me feel like, damn, it's tough, because some of these guys don't have a chance. I mean, there's that top tier 1% guy, or the top 10% of men who have all this money that can fly women out easily. And it just, I feel bad sometimes for those men. So what's your message to those guys that are trying hard, that fall on their face, that they think they're failing, that they don't take it as a lesson learned for next time, and realize that there are better women out there, that there's going to be opportunities for them?
First things first, never compare yourself to anyone else. Never compare yourself to what this person has and what you don't have. Run your own race. Because I promise you, 99% of the shit you see on social media is all bullshit. It's all make-believe, dystopia, bullshit. Always stay true to yourself, but do hobbies that you enjoy doing, that you're passionate about. Go out once in a while, meet new people, go where there's humans, interact, get away from social media. If you see all these losers calling you a brokey or flaunting their nice cars and all this other bullshit, just don't even watch them anymore. I make fun of guys like that. I don't look at them for any type of inspiration, and you shouldn't. As long as you stay true to yourself, I will always respect the man that's bettering himself each and every day over the man that's not. I believe as long as you're bettering yourself each and every day
On your purpose.
on your purpose, congrats. You need to have a definiteness of purpose as well. Never put anything before your purpose. Once you guys find your purpose and you figure that out, work on it every single day of your life.
You have to, because if you don't work on your purpose, then what do you got, right? If a woman is looking your way, you want to be ready. If you're looking for that woman that you want her to be into you, and you're like, oh, wow, she's into me, and I'm ready to, be into her and start making things happen with her, and you're not ready, you don't have your shit together, you don't have your money together. Of course, it's not to have your money together for her, it's to have it for yourself. So you could be at a level where you can have the freedom to do whatever you like. You can take her out for a dinner, and it's not such a big deal, right? You could take her out for maybe a trip away on a weekend for a couple of days. You go off somewhere, nothing too expensive. Once you're at that point that you're, of course, you've built up that relationship a little bit more. You're not going to, take her out on a vacation after the first, second, or third date. It's going to take a while till you get there, but you want to be ready for that to happen, because if you're doing everything right, things will line up and the options will come to you. Guys will have options. Guys will have opportunities. So I think that men should focus on creating opportunities for themselves, because for anybody that's watching or is going to watch this once it posts, think about this question for the guys out there. Do you have a woman knocking on your door right now saying, hey, so-and-so, I want to date you. I'm interested in you. Let's make it happen. Do you hear that knock on the door? Because I don't. So you have to create that knock on the quote unquote knock on the door. What do I mean? Once women see that you're on your purpose and you're trying hard, you're working out, you're building your confidence, you don't let shit get to you, you're not negative, you're positive, you're doing all these great things, you're going to start seeing maybe some messages on your Instagram and your DMs. Maybe you'll start getting some text messages. Hey, what you been up to? How you been? And then things will start flowing. But if you don't have the mindset to prepare yourself, to be ready for when the moment comes, then what are you going to do? What are you going to be done for? What are you going to do? You know, what choices are you going to have? You want something, you have to create it. You have to create that knock on the door. You have to create that woman texting you back, right? Of course, men have to be the ones that go after women and approach and all that, and that's going to happen no matter what. But nowadays, there are women that are saying, hey, you know, not many guys are approaching me as much as before. Let me, you know, try to send my choosing signals to those guys that I'm interested in. Let me try to get them to come over. Let me wink at them. Let me smile at them. Let me say hello and see what can happen out of this.
Plus, you know something, I think as a man, you have to be real with yourself. Like, if you know the woman you're looking at is a bimbo, or you know she's a gold digger, you know she's one of these social media girls, then don't even bother, because I think that's another trap you could walk into. Like, to your point, to Sar's point earlier, like, if you only look at looks and that's what drives you, you're going to walk into those bimbos each and every time. Like, you have to set certain standards, qualities that you want in a woman, and look for them. Like you said, be a sniper, because if it's just like looks, there's a lot of good-looking women that are predatory in a sense, that are going to look to use you, take advantage of you. They're not going to take you seriously. They're not going to like you for you. And I think if we're going to talk about dating in 2025, that's what most men are up against nowadays. Let's be real, we want an attractive woman, right? But you have to set like certain boundaries and what qualities you want, and don't settle for less. Women aren't settling.
Yeah, remember, you're not looking at women just for their looks, because we did mention that before. That's what brings you in, right? That woman with her looks, and keep in mind that even most of her looks are fake, right? When we talk about the makeup, the hair extensions, the fake breasts, right? And the BBL and the lip injections. So if you're smart enough and you have game, you'll see through that BS, and you'll see that, well, this woman is putting on a fake persona, just trying to bring you in with her looks that are fake. So what else is fake about this woman, right? What else is fake about her? You talk to her a little bit more, you get to learn about her personality. Oh, shit. There's a lot of issues with this woman. Next. And that's how you move on. You have to figure that when you're trying to build something with a woman seriously, you have to look at the overall package of what this woman brings into your life, right? Because, yes, looks bring you in, and I think it's important that if a man is working hard to take care of himself, take care of his looks, go to the gym, and he's in that position where he wants a woman that looks at, is compatible in looks, then he has that right. But it's not just about that. It has to be where she can bring peace, right? She can bring some submissiveness, right? Be in the feminine role, not switch gender roles, right? Bring some fun in bed and bring it often. There's other podcasts that say, oh, you have to be ready to have sex on when I say, sleep with me. When the guy says, no, not necessarily like that. We're not necessarily agreeing with that. But bring these things as a woman to a man, and as a man realize that if you work hard, you deserve this type of woman, right? The peace, submissiveness. Have her, you come home and have a fresh cooked meal. Oh, both men and women work, right? They're both in the field working. Maybe you cook one day, she cooks one day, vice versa. So there's, again, it gets complicated, but you have to figure it out based on the situation, and you have to go with a woman that brings an overall package, and it's not just her looks or just her personality or that she's funny or, you know, she's cool to hang out with or that she's just good in bed. It has to be an overall package that this woman provides for a man to provide resources, money, time, energy, all these things, and commitment. And I think many men are afraid of commitment because they're afraid of losing these things over a woman that may rip them off.
Well said.
So it's something for guys to look out for. So I think something that men should work towards building in 2025 is the relationship with any woman. What do I mean? Talk about personal interests. Talk about what kind of food you like to eat, places you like to travel, hobbies you like to do. Maybe she likes to work out. You like to work out. Go to the gym together so you can build in that regard. So there's many ways to do it. So what are your thoughts on men building in 2025?
Find hobbies that you guys enjoy doing, because even on your way to do those hobbies, you might find a girl that likes you and you like back. You might find an attractive girl that finds you attractive and you find her attractive as well. Or you might find her at the hobby you're going to go do. And what do I mean by that? So let's say if you like gardening. You go to Home Depot a lot, to the plant section, the soil section. You go to all these botanical gardens. You go to all these farms that have exotic plants and fruit trees, and you're always looking at new things that you might want to add to your lawn, or because you just have a hobby for planting. I promise you, you will meet so many beautiful women at those same places, and it's so much easier for you to start up a conversation because you have knowledge of all the plants there, maybe the flowers, what type of soil to use. Maybe you can talk to her about that. So it's much easier for you to pick up women at these places because you already have a passion for the same shit she has a passion for. But you can only get there if you enjoy hiking, if you enjoy botanical gardens, if you enjoy, let's say, maybe fishing, maybe going on a boat. I don't know. Whatever fucking hobbies you want to do, I promise you, there are humans and there are women out of those humans that are doing the same shit that you enjoy doing. And those are the best women to meet. That's a start. But you can't do that by sitting home, by playing video games. You can't meet women by not going out.
Nope.
It's not going to happen. I've never seen it happen. I have never had a beautiful girl just knock on my door that I didn't have to go out and get and was begging for me to have sex with her. It's never happened. Even if you have Pumpkin Spice Glad plugged in to your fucking walls. We all know the white girls go crazy for pumpkin spice. That shit ain't fucking helping you. There's not going to be a line outside your fucking door of white girls waiting to get in. I don't care how much your place smells like pumpkin fucking spice. Go out and meet people. Meet the barista. Meet the girl at the coffee shop. Even on your way to fucking coffee, you can meet girls.
So many ways.
There's so many ways that you can meet. So every time guys ask me the question, where can I meet women? It baffles my fucking mind. It truly does baffle my mind because I envision a guy who is in a fucking bubble, who has never left his house before.
What's that movie, Bubble Boy, where he was in the bubble? He's stuck.
He's in a bubble.
He can't get out.
Even guys in prison know where to get girls.
You have to go out and socialize, I think. And again, this is something that's unfortunately extremely common, is just people are used to being by themselves because of their screen. They're playing video games. They're on social media. You have to go out. I think going out once a week, Saturday, Sunday, you don't have to necessarily go. There's this kind of like standard, like, oh, bars and clubs, bars and clubs. You don't have to go to bars and clubs. Go out, like you said, find an activity, hiking, tennis. I don't care what sport you're into, hiking, go out and do something, because you're going to build that habit of going out and find people that do the same thing. Something that I saw recently that's becoming popular is like these like run clubs. So if you want to be healthy about it, there's run clubs. We're in New Jersey. I know Hoboken has plenty of them, where they get like 30 people together, men and women, and they go out running. And you're stuck in a group and you're going to be running. Great way to meet people. And you're not going to meet toxic bimbos there. You might, but it's less likely than at a club.
Well, how about this? As you mentioned, bars and clubs. What's your opinion of meeting women at bars and clubs? Because I personally think it's a shitty place to meet women. I mean, you might have your opportunity once in a blue moon for a hookup, but to meet women, it's tough because that loud music, I can't hear anything. I can't have a conversation.
I hate that part because the music is so loud in some of these places, especially lounges. You're not going to be screaming and meeting a girl in these loud-ass clubs or lounges unless if you already know the girl. But you can meet quality at a bar. You can meet quality women at a bar. Once again, it depends where and it depends when.
Yeah.
Because they have girlfriends that always drag these women out like, come on, we'll have a good time. Maybe the woman isn't used to drinking. Maybe she doesn't like drinking, but her friends just happen to bring her out that one night. So it all depends on timing. But if you are going to go to the bar or a lounge, go on a weeknight.
Yeah, true.
Do not go on a weekend. I'm going to explain why. Everyone goes out on the weekend. Girls go out on the weekend. There's birthdays, fucking celebrations, bullshit. I got a raise at my job. I got an abortion, whatever. They're always celebrating some dumb shit. Go out on a weeknight because the women that are out on a weeknight, they're specifically looking to get seduced. If you see a woman at a bar on a weeknight, she's looking for some play.
She's looking for it.
Good point.
She's looking for a guy to go and approach her. But usually on the weekends, it's more of a planned event.
Yeah.
It's always a planned event.
Yeah,
like they're going to a bar.
They're not thinking
Birthdays
about it. They're not thinking about it. They're focused on that event, having a good time with their girls, all this stuff.
Their
that they
guard
like to
is
do.
up. Their guard is up. The girl who's there on a weeknight, maybe not as many guys. She's by herself.
Yeah.
Quiet night. And then Mr. Right walks in.
Boom.
That swagger.
Boom.
Big D energy walking in.
Boom.
Second he sits down, I'll have a tequila on the rocks. Or I'll have an old fashioned.
Yeah.
And then you look at her, make that eye contact, smile.
Yeah,
Start
true.
up a conversation.
I mean, if you go to a bar on
Easy.
a Tuesday night and there's a girl sitting at the bar, like you said, it's not going to be like because the problem with going out on clubs on weekends is like it's loud for one. Club culture now, overcrowded. You
all
can't
the
hear
time.
shit. You don't know what's going on over there. The music's loud, and you have now clubs. Let's be real. Clubs are all bottle service, so you're gonna end up spending money for no reason. It's not like it used to be where people used to just pay general admission and they would dance and like you used to be able to just kind of like go to the dance floor and pick up women. You still can, but now the way these clubs are set up, it's more just like sections. Everyone's sectioned off anyway. So good point though. I think you're right. If you're going to go out to bars, happy hours are another good spot. Do it during the week. I agree with that.
Yeah, happy hour.
Yeah.
Especially down the shore. There's always areas where there's plenty of women going to these places, even during the day, happy hour, even at night.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll go by myself at night, and lo and behold, you see a couple beautiful women there, all looking for the same thing.
And you know what? In one night, it's not a bad idea to even jump venues. If you go to a place and you see it's whack within 5 minutes, don't stay there. Go to another bar. Like that. That's what I love about like where we live. Because if you go to like a Hoboken, New Jersey City, aim to go to a place where you could kind of change venues. Because if you go out to one place and there's nothing else around and it's not, it's hit or some places are hit or miss. But if you go out and you're seeing it's not really the crowd, it's all a sausage fest, jump to another spot.
Yeah, you definitely have to bounce around. You can't stay in one spot, expect something to happen if nothing's happening. Oh, nothing's happening here. Wait, half hour, 35 minutes, boom, on to the next place. Be in an area where you have a chance to move around and explore and,
If it's an HBI convention, If it's full of HPIs, you got to get out of
If
there.
they're scrambling and scraping for shit like P. Diddy, yeah, that's your time to leave before the devil comes.
Yep.
But I enjoy going to the movie theaters by myself sometimes.
Well, what
And
are
you
your
never know who's going to work there. You never know who you might meet there. So, but the whole point is going out and making things happen.
Yep.
Going out, making things happen.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on guys going out and doing activities on their own,
I love it.
just to see what happens?
Bro, I love it. You don't have to babysit anyone. It shows confidence that you're there by yourself. You still know how to have a good time. You're having maybe a drink or two. You don't care what anyone else thinks. And you're non-threatening because women are more likely to actually come up to you if you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Great conversation starter right there,
100%.
right? Rather than you being with a group of guys, that's very intimidating for women to come talk to you. But if you're by yourself, they'll come sit next to you, and then you can strike up the conversation.
That's why I think day game in general is underrated. Because when people think of like talking to women, they kind of assume like Friday, Saturday night, go out to bars and clubs. Day game, there's so many different ways you can approach it. I mean, you could just go out in the middle of the day and go to a bar or a restaurant, just kind of walk around in a city, and the opportunities are everywhere. I actually prefer, I like day game.
Especially if you have a dog. If you have a dog and you
Boom.
have day game
Yeah.
and you're walking through, doesn't even have to be a heavy
They'll just come up to
populated
you.
area.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
The
What
women
kind of
will
breed
come
is
up
it?
to you.
Yeah.
And they're probably walking a dog as well. There
Yeah.
you go. You guys have something in common.
Yeah.
She has a dog.
Make it happen.
Your dog has a friend, and you have a potential girlfriend right
Make
there.
it happen.
That's
Get
it.
her number. Hey, sometimes I need a dog sitter. Easy.
How about for guys that they go too quick, they go too deep into conversation after, meeting the first couple times? Is that something you suggest that guys go deep, or should it be where they feel out the conversation, then go accordingly to that?
You should only go deep vaginally. Number one. Don't go into all these deep conversations.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk.
The girl doesn't want to
Spit all
hear
that
any of
good.
that shit. So you make some bold statements. You make her laugh a little bit. Say something cocky and funny. Ask her questions. Use some canned lines that you already have, like the nationality one we went over. Use that line right after, which is golden. And that's it. Hey, listen, I got to head out, but what's your number? I'm going to take us out for a drink.
I like that.
Easy. Always
And you're not
say it.
asking.
You're not asking.
saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always remember the name. Guys, pick up 101. Remember the fucking name. Show her you have some type of intelligence and that you listen to her. But after you get the number or before you get the number, I say something like this now. Hey, what's your number? I'd like to take us out for a drink one night.
Yeah.
Notice how I'm
Nice.
phrasing that. I'd like to take us out for a drink one night.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Instead of putting the pressure and saying, I want to take you out, it kind of alleviates it. Gives the illusion a little bit.
No, that's smooth, basically. And it doesn't I think women are more likely to back out when you put them on the spot.
100%.
If you ask or you say something that puts them on the spot, they're going to just, I can't. I have a boyfriend or I'm busy or whatever. So.
That's the thing. Also, women that men meet in public and guys go up to them and they kind of put that pressure on them that they have to answer. They say, I want to take you out. I want to do this, want to do that. Let's go for a drink. Let's go here. Let's go there. Or something that puts pressure on them where they say, I have a boyfriend now. Or I have something to do. I'm busy. And for a good amount of them, it's a lie, right? They're just trying to get out of it. What would be a better way to approach where women don't feel that angst and they have to lie about not wanting to hang out with them when they may have actually had a shot at hanging out with that woman?
Number one, guys talk too much. They don't know when to shut the fuck up. We all know that. Okay, that's the main issue.
Sometimes I'm guilty of that.
Guys don't know when to
Sometimes I'm
shut the
guilty of
fuck
that.
up.
Yeah.
Because the women, they just talked themselves out of the panties, and the women was like, damn, I was going to give it to you, but now you've just said too much. Okay, that's happened to me before. It happens to every guy. But you have to, number one, don't ever put pressure on a woman. They can't stand that. Women despise men that put any type of pressure on them. So when you go into this dating realm and you're not looking for the one, or you're not looking for a relationship, automatically that alleviates any type of pressure you're putting on the woman. Automatically that alleviates any type of pressure because you're not looking for shit.
Yep.
She happens to find you. So that's why you always go into it without having the mindset of, oh, I need a girl. I have to be in a relationship. I need a girlfriend. I need a girlfriend. You're going to lose every single time.
Yeah.
Because they're going to sense that needy energy from
Desperation,
you.
neediness.
That desperation. That instead, when you have the psychological mindset that I just told you, she has to prove herself to you. She has to prove her value to you, where you're evaluating her. You're disqualifying her, right? Go back to all those characteristics I told you to list, the standards you have. That puts you in a position of power because now you get to disqualify her. Like, well, nah, she's not good enough for me.
Let me ask you, do you ever use like the push-pull concept when you're talking to women where you know, you've heard of it before?
Yes. So I've used the push-pull before where, say if you guys are baseball fans. Oh, I'm also a baseball fan. She's a baseball fan. And then you ask her, okay, deal breaker, Yankees or Mets? And she says Mets. And you're like, oh, you see, that's why I would never work out between you and me.
Good thing I'm a Mets fan.
Yeah. Right? So
No,
you could
but
tease
yeah.
her about that.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
could tease her, I'm a Yankees fan. I knew it would just never work out. You're trouble. Yeah, I have to be with a girl that likes the Yankees just as much as I do. I thought you were cool at first, but a part of me wants to stay here and get to know you. The other part wants to run the other fucking way. Right? There you go. Push-pull right there.
Right.
She doesn't know where the fuck you're going with this.
Yeah, she has no
What
idea.
angle. She has no idea
Yeah.
whether you like her now or not. But it's fun for the girl. That's what it's all about. Disqualify yourself. Break rapport. Don't always try to build rapport like all these other beta males. Like, oh my God, you like that? I like that too. Oh, no way. You did that. I went there too. I went to Iceland. Oh my God. Like just constantly comparing and try to seek her approval, and
There's got to be polarity.
there's no friction. You need friction in there.
Yeah.
You need some friction. That's how attraction works.
Yeah.
And we've said it before, you can't kiss a woman's ass. You don't
No.
get anywhere by kissing
Never.
a woman's ass.
The second you view her value above yours, the second you put a woman's value above yours, you already lost.
Yeah.
Forget about
You
it.
already lost.
Yep.
You have to go into every interaction knowing and believing wholeheartedly that your value is above hers. You
Yep.
are the prize. That's the number one mentality every guy has to go into every interaction when it comes to women. I am the prize.
Yep.
Her value is not above mine.
Huge.
Because now you take all the pressure off from her, and now she's qualifying herself to you. She's validating herself to you. And that's how it's always been.
This is how it should be.
But we're being programmed through the beta mind programming where it's the other way around.
Yep.
Men have to worship the ground women walk on. Men are the prize. No, women are the prize. Women are the prize. Men have to worship the ground they walk on. All this other beta mind programming bullshit. And that's not how it works. It's never worked like that. A woman can only adore you if she views you as the prize.
Yep.
Bingo.
She can only be loyal to you if she views you as the prize. She can only respect you if she views you as the prize.
That's it.
She's not going to respect a random homeless man
Yep.
whose value is below hers.
Yeah, she just walk right by him just like she would walk right by you.
He's invisible to her.
Yeah. And a lot of men are invisible to women.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a problem. And, you know, before I get to the next question, guys, one more time, real quick, subscribe to the podcast, guys, on YouTube. Those of you that are watching now, if you have any questions, super chat them in. We'd be happy to answer them. But subscribe to the channel, the podcast guys. We have Instagram, TikTok, and Rumble, the podcast guys _ Follow Czar of Dating on Instagram. He's got his YouTube channel. He's got Full Armor of Game with Texting Prince. Come on, support Czar. He's giving you guys game. And this question is a very interesting one. I'm sure a lot of guys are going to want to know about this. Are men making a mistake by not having enough standards or any standards at all for themselves?
100%. Because once again, if you don't have any standards, you're going to fall for everything. Whenever everyone is your customer, no one is your customer. So how are you going to find a specific type of customer you're looking for if you don't know what to look for? If you don't have any fucking standards? I have my standards, my tests I give women, and my standards that I have for women now through the experience I learned. And if she doesn't fit certain requirements, if she doesn't have any type of gracefulness, if she's not compassionate, if she doesn't add value to my life, if she's not uplifting, if she's not virtuous, the list goes on. If she's not honest, if she doesn't speak highly of men and has respect for men, if she never had a loving mother, caring mother, like those are all checklists. How is her mother? If I ever marry this woman, her mother-in-law, my mother-in-law is going to be a part of our life.
Very good point.
Am I going to want to deal with her and put up with her, or do I enjoy going over her place and talking to her freely, being myself? How's her father? He's going to be my father-in-law. Am I going to get along with him?
Yep.
Is he an asshole? Is he going to cause problems? No one ever thinks about this shit. They want to get married, but no one ever thinks about the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the brother-in-law, everything else that matters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I think if, as of course we've heard out there, if you don't stand for anything, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. So men have to stand up for themselves. They have to create standards for themselves, but they have to build themselves up for that. Because if they're not built up, then they can have all the standards that they want. It won't matter. They're going to be looked at by a woman. They're going to be like, this guy's a joke. So you have to build yourself up. You have to create standards for yourself. You have to have some goals, right? Have some life goals. That's important. You can also share that with a woman, share those life goals, and she might be like, that's cool. But then take action on that. And then if she's not around, if she's not in the picture, so what? You're still working on your life goals. You're still working on your purpose. And then you're going to have more women coming up out of nowhere, and you'll have all the options that you didn't have prior to the standards that you have now. Right? So it's all a mindset shift. It's all action taking place. But if you don't do any of it, nobody's going to do it for you, first off, gentlemen. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to get up and do it yourself. So that's one big aspect of trying to get women to come within your circle. But the other thing is actually living up to it, right? You have these standards. You have to live up to them. You have to have women buy into them. And that way you can have your pick of the options that you have. You want to be the one picking which woman comes into your life, not the other way around. It shouldn't be where there's 50 men DMing a woman and she gets to pick whichever one she wants to screw with. So
whenever you hear this whole idea of like women always go for the asshole or women always go for the bad boy, ask yourself what kind of traits does that guy have? It's never the guy that like overly validates her or makes it seem like, he's overly obsessed with her. Those type of guys usually have the attitude of like, I'm not dealing with your shit. I already have another girl. And they, lo and behold, they end up chasing that type of guy. So if you catch yourself thinking or talking about that type of stuff, think about the traits that those type of guys have. And why is it that women find it attractive? It's never the guy that's up her ass and like over validates her and treats her like she's, gold.
And for all the guys out there that are actually dating OnlyFans girls and they're dating these escorts, glorifying it, you have famous people legit dating porn stars, OnlyFans girls, and escorts and bragging about it. and openly showing them on social media as if that is something to brag about. Like, the balls on you guys to brag openly about some escort that you're dating, some prostitute, to brag openly about an OnlyFans chick you're dating or in a relationship with who's a legal prostitute, to brag about nonsense like this bullshit all over social media. Could you imagine back during the days of the kings and queens, if you brought one of these girls over there and she introduced herself and they find out she sells her butthole for money?
Yep.
Like, do you realize how quickly that girl and yourself would get kicked out of that place? They would tell you to get the fuck out of here. But now they're glorifying this shit because men don't have standards anymore. You don't have fucking standards. Every single dork or all these influencers like Neon and all these other losers, like that brown, the blue-haired weirdo, Destiny, and all you other lames, I don't care how many accolades you think you have, the fact that you would even date an OnlyFans chick, as if she likes you for who you are, bro, and not because she's using you to make herself more money. Like, the balls on you guys.
Yeah.
They've got the eyeballs on them, so these women are trying to get the eyeballs.
But the fact
to
that they
them too.
glorify this shit and brag about it,
They're
I would be
pushing-
embarrassed. I would be embarrassed to show my girl and let everyone know she has an OnlyFans account. I would be fucking embarrassed to even be seen with a girl like that. And everyone knows her from her OnlyFans or because of her provocative pictures all over social media.
And it is funny you mentioned the OnlyFans women. The amount of money they make, up for a bunch of them, is a good amount. They make a lot of monetary value. But themselves, as a woman, those women have no value. So, and again, women that make money, men shouldn't be focused on women that make money anyway. But that's besides the point. These women have no value. What a waste.
They think
What a
short term.
waste.
Women, for the most part, think short term. They get OnlyFans. They think they're going to make a lot of money. They start making the money. Money keeps coming in. Money keeps coming in. Okay, cool. All great. I'm not hating on making the money part, but not all money is good money.
That's right.
Okay? The devil gives you money too. God also gives you money. So which one would you rather have? Which one do you think makes you feel better? The devil's money or God's money?
Yeah.
But these girls don't know any better.
Yep.
But the long-term effect, they don't think about that. No guy is going to want to marry me or take me seriously. Yeah, there's always some beta cuck out there that will accept me for who I am. There always is. There's always the mop-up crew, the beta male barnacles that get the crumbs left over. The guy that I truly want, he's not going to want to be with me. And who's going to want to have children with me? And if I do have children, everything is out in public already.
Yep.
They're going to see all this. Women don't think long term.
They
They
don't.
think short term, OnlyFans, stripper, I'm going to make the money, use it for some bullshit. And all you guys that think women actually make a lot of money off OnlyFans. Sure, I'm positive some of them do make a good amount of money on OnlyFans. But I also promise you that barely any of those women invest that money or know how to save that money. You want to know why? Easy come, easy go. When you make money you know you didn't fucking earn, you piss it all away. That's why people that play the lottery, the people that actually win the lottery, how many of them go broke? Why is that? They know they didn't earn that fucking money.
Yep.
Easy come, easy go. So just because some bimbo claims she made thousands of dollars on OnlyFans doesn't mean she's saving or investing that money. Because most of those bimbos don't know how to.
Most of them, I believe, will be really broke by the time
They're all going to be broke.
they're all going to be
They're
broke.
all going to be living in Miami, all these expenses. I'm sure they'll have some fucking guy that will still pay for it eventually, but beauty fades. Beauty eventually fades.
was gonna
And
say
there's
that.
always going to be a hotter girl that's going to replace you and do exactly what you're doing 10 times better just because she's more youthful.
Yep.
With men, it doesn't work that way.
Yep.
With men, we always have the long term to our advantage.
Yep.
100%.
That's the main difference.
Because it's the value and knowledge we can give to the world. When a man has thousands of followers on his social media, it's usually due to the value and the knowledge he shares with the world. When a woman has thousands of followers on social media, it's due to the provocative pictures that she shares with the world. That's it.
Bingo.
Because there's far more beta males and far more simps in this world than there are masculine alpha men who don't follow these women just because they're half naked.
Yep. Well said.
That's the thing. That's the issue. And
It's so much easier on social media to be a beautiful woman than it is to be a 10 out of a 10 guy looks-wise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth with looks fade. I was going to say the same thing. I mean, think about it for any ladies out there. Maybe you don't, but maybe you know a girl that does or have a friend that does an OnlyFans type thing or works in the nightlife, if you know what I mean, type thing. How long do you think that will last, right? How long will OnlyFans last for you? Even if you want to do OnlyFans for a while, how long do you think you'll be doing it before you get sick of it? Because women get bored of everything too. So most women get bored of everything. So how long will that last? And then again, as Czar mentioned, looks do fade. So if your looks fade, what are you going to do after that OnlyFans life? Are you going to try to get a career where if somebody already knows that you did OnlyFans, they will not accept you in their organization?
Like Czar said, I think most of these women are just banking on the fact that they can make a boatload of money in a short term, and it's all about lifestyle to them. Like, what does it come down to? Traveling, posting pictures, cars. It's all lifestyle. It's short term. They're not thinking long term. They're not thinking like, well, what about when I'm 50? You know, like, so look, they're all going to learn their lesson sooner or later. I think that's besides the point, but I think we all know where all that's going to end. So,
and I think there's this other thing where women think that the knight in shining armor type of guy is going to come and sweep them off their feet and save them and provide them everything: money, cars, the house, the dream life, the white picket fence, the family, everything. But the way things are going in this current dating market say something else. It doesn't say that. Men and women are going in totally opposite directions. The hope is with a podcast like ours, with Czar coming on, giving his advice in his podcast and what he says day in and day out, we can change things, and hopefully little by little people change. But again, men and women are going to have to change and want to change on their own. We can say things and sit here until we're blue in the face and give you our all until you understand what is going on. But for you to change, it's going to have to be either that you want it to change, either as a man or a woman. Men have more standards, work on themselves, work on their purpose. Women lower their standards a little bit because they're pretty high up there, pretty sky high. Could probably have chapters on how many standards women have. And, you know, don't get into OnlyFans if you're thinking about it, because, you know, those that are already in it are lost. If you're able to do those things, things are going to work out better for you. Or if you don't make the change, or you don't put a positive type of energy out there in the world, then, you know, sooner or later, reality is going to hit you in the face, smack you in the face. So don't let it get to that point where life just kind of comes up and, you know, takes over. You want to make sure that you have control in the situation while you have that power in your hands at the moment. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how things turn. And you know, for things to get better, people have to wake up.
But think of it this way. I want you guys to understand something. When a woman uses sex or her beauty as a way to impress you, like, oh, look at the moves I can do in the bedroom, I bet no woman has ever done that for you. Is it cool at first? You're like, yeah, okay, wow, this shit's amazing. Cool. But it's only temporary. So when you guys use money in order to impress women, or the types of cars you drive, that shit is only temporary. that's not going to keep a woman long term. And it's identical to a woman trying to impress you with sex or her sexual abilities. Yeah, it's cool after like, okay, whatever, like we'll still sleep with her, right? But long term, you're like, what else does she have to offer internally? Like, what other value does she have to offer besides how good she is in the bedroom? And a lot of women truly believe that in order for a guy to like them, they have to be amazing in the bedroom.
You know, it's funny because something that you hear women always say is like, oh, men only want one thing. That's a common thing I hear. Like they paint us all with this one person. Like men only care about one thing. That's not actually true because I think most men, especially as they get older, we look for certain values. And I think women maybe like overlook that, or I don't know, like to your point, like maybe they think we only do care about the sex. To keep a woman in your life long term, like you mentioned before, you're going to look at her values, her family life, her relationship with her parents. What are her parents like? Because once you know, whether you get married or not, once you get into a long-term serious commitment or you have kids, your families are going to join. So men absolutely look at more than just sex and just looks. And if you are a guy that just looks at looks and that's the only thing you care about, you're going to fall into the trap that most simps fall into.
Yeah, like I said, the overall package is important. What else does she bring to the table? Does she bring peace? Does she bring happiness? Is she supporting the goals that you have in life? Because if you have even those things, you're getting somewhere. A lot of women don't have any of that in mind for men, right? They don't even care of his well-being, how he's doing. Is he sleeping well? Is he eating well? Oh, if he's not, if he's hungry, can I, as a woman, can I make you something to eat? It would be nice to see women act in that way. It'd be nice to go back to a traditional style of relationship. And hopefully at some point, you do see it a little bit here and there. It's still around, but it's less and less day by day. So hopefully people realize and they save themselves from this Instagramification type of life where they have to make money quick and they have to do this, women have to live this crazy lifestyle and not settle down, and men not having standards. All things have to start coming together, but it changes with you. You have to want to make the change for people around you to resonate with that change. I think that's important. So,
yeah, just think about if all these fucking losers and beta males and lames just stopped cash apping women just because of their beauty. Like, could you imagine if all these lames, these BMBs, these beta male barnacles, all stopped giving these women attention? If she posts provocative pictures on social media, stop giving her attention. If she posts provocative videos on social media, stop giving her attention. And watch how quickly they find other ways to grab your fucking attention besides showing off their fleshy goodness all over social media. And it's all to just one-up another girl that does the same thing, just to impress other people all over social media that they don't even give a fuck about. But it's all a competition now of who has the biggest ass, who has the most money, who drives the nicest car, who's the biggest douchebag on social media of them all. Like, it just gets dumber and dumber with the most insecure people I've ever seen in my life trying to pretend like someone they're not.
Yep.
And you can see through that facade. And they're all fucking lames, including some of these women who are all lames. Like, your entire content is built around showing nudity, and then you're going to say something about my fucking content?
Exactly.
For what I say to men?
Exactly.
And it's always the women with some Bible quote or scripture in their profile, in their bio, who talk the most shit. They say the most vile shit that's out there. I know, because I read my comments. And the nastiest comments with the most vulgarity and profanity was from these women who virtue signal by having some Bible quote or some scripture in their fucking profile on their
I heard
social
this
media.
somewhere. A hoe's final form is when she turns into one of those religious.
And the
bops.
hoe comes out of her. And the hoe comes out over my video. Like, you hoe. Because I know plenty of virtuous women that don't talk like that.
Corinthians
talk with-
14:11.
It's some bullshit.
They go to church because they need God.
It's
I mean,
but it's like,
they
when
need-
was the last time you went to church? Let me see your Bible.
Yeah.
Let me see. Do you have anything highlighted in your Bible? Or is that just some bullshit scripture you read once and now it resonates
You know,
with you?
it's a valid point because, you know, I know women like that. They're like, no, they go to church a lot, but like their actual values and their behavior don't
It's
match
virtue
up.
signaling.
It's virtue signaling.
That's
It's like,
all
oh,
it
look at
is.
me. I go to church. Great, but
It's what you
I
do
know
with
you.
that.
Exact-
It's the character you have.
Yeah.
I know plenty of amazing women who don't go to church,
Yeah.
but they look like they go to church because of their character
Yeah.
and the way they carry themselves.
That's-
But they don't have to write some scripture on their fucking profile to make you believe that this is some holy person. That's why I am who I am. I don't have to post a bunch of bullshit like I'm for this or I'm for that, or because I don't have to virtue signal. Like, I don't
So
either
true.
you like me or you don't.
So
I'm
true.
not going to get you to like me by supporting a flag or by supporting some movement or some other propaganda bullshit. I'm not going to do that to get people to like me
yeah.
and
valid.
virtue signal.
I think the women that go to church need to go to church because they have done something wrong in life, or they need to go make themselves feel better about themselves.
That's
why-
very true.
That's why they go to church.
That's very true. I'll only go to church with the girl the next day so we can forgive,
To bless that
so
ass.
we can ask God to forgive us for our sins the night before. I always tell her, babe, we got to go to church. We're asking God for forgiveness for the sins we just committed.
because of what happened last
Oh,
night.
you
what
gotta
happened.
give him that hawk to it.
We go in there,
Spit
we
on
act
that.
professional, we're dressed up beautifully, ready to go, and we ask God for forgiveness.
After the night before of a Hawk Tua happening, definitely. So,
After getting the hot beef injection. But
Definitely.
I'm not going to act like I'm some holy man and I'm perfect.
Because look,
That's not who
no
I
one
am.
is.
I
No
would
one
be
is.
a hypocrite with my stories I have. And
no one is. We know Czar's not perfect. We're not perfect. No human is perfect. Nothing is 100% foolproof. But we do the best we can. And if we're doing the best we can legitimately, then that's a good thing, right? Give us credit for that. Give credit to where credit's due.
you can't take 100 HBIs and then go to church on Sunday. It just doesn't. It goes completely against.
there's some sins that cannot be forgiven.
I was going to say that.
That's one of them. If you've been railed by over 100 dudes,
You're exempt from.
that, you,
It's funny because when I see that,
can God still forgive you for that?
yeah, I don't know.
I guess
Over
you could turn. I
100
guess you could
guys.
turn a. Do you think you could turn a hoe into a housewife?
No,
No, right?
Never.
No chance.
absolutely not. No.
No, once a hoe, always a hoe.
No.
I said that. I know I said that before somewhere. You guys look it up.
Some women just, that's their character.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they are. That's who they're always going to be.
Yeah, and I think the women that don't go to church, they already have that. Not all of them, a good amount of them, maybe some, have that good in them. Like they don't do OnlyFans, they don't do stupid shit, they don't screw around, they don't hold around. They don't need church, But again, whatever religion, I respect.
You'll meet some beautiful girls at church.
You do.
Yeah.
You'll
You do.
meet some that's another great place to meet women.
Yeah.
But are they sane enough?
That's for you to decide.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
for
church
you
is
to
a mixed
decide.
bag. There are definitely some, we're not talking about religious bops that took 100 HBIs and decided they're religious all of a sudden. There are women that come from good families that go to church and they're religious, and more importantly, they actually stick to the values rather than just play that role, right? So
100%. So yeah, I know we're getting up there in time. Any last, main points that you guys want to cover before we slowly come to a close? What do you?
I'll close out by saying, because, the original topic we started with is, dating in 2025, leading guys in the right direction, right? I would say something that you'll never fail doing is staying on your purpose, get in shape, go to the gym, get your mind focused on the right things. The saying is women are like a byproduct of a man's success. Women should never be your focus. If women are your focus in 2025, you're already starting off on the right foot. on the wrong foot. Focus on physical fitness, financial success, investing your money, avoid toxic shit, avoid shitty people, and you'll improve naturally. Work on your confidence. That's my message.
And give back to the world.
And give
Guys,
back
there's
to
a
the world.
lot of toxicity out there. There's a lot of negativity in this world. Give back to the world. Add value to the world. I would rather have a plethora of beautiful fruit trees that I could plant in the backyard that I can go to every spring and summer, pick fruit from, over having 10 supercars any day of the week.
Yep.
That's nice. That's
Because
really nice.
some things just don't bring me peace and happiness. I can give two fucks about driving a supercar. If that's your thing, cool. Let that be your thing. Give me 10 different fruit trees that I can plant with my dad, brother, make it meaningful, and that thing will supply me for life and the generations to come.
Yep.
So it's the way you look at things. If you want $1 million and that's you want to hustle, you want to get money by any means possible, you don't care if it's good or bad money, do you. But just know that karma's going to come back if you do people dirty.
Yep.
You can still make money, but you can do it in God's way where it's not dirty money. Become spiritual. Read these 3 books. Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, and there was a third one. Read 48 Laws of Power. It's a very good book. And also
Robert
my
Greene?
ebooks. Robert Greene,
Yeah.
48 Laws of Power. And also, of course, my ebooks, if you want to learn the relationship, attraction game, the beautiful language of women. But start with those books and find a definitiveness of purpose. That's what he calls it. And The Way of the Superior Man. He talks about your purpose in that book as well. Great book, The Way of the Superior Man, where your purpose in life should always come first. That's what truly makes you happy, is when you're focusing on your goals and your purpose, whether you're making YouTube videos, whether you're editing, whether you're out taking pictures, whatever your purpose is, guys, whatever you're good at, whatever you enjoy doing, where you're just enveloped around bliss,
Yep.
doing it, if it brings you peace, if it brings you bliss, do it.
Yep.
That's your passion. That's your goals in life. That's your goal in life.
Great message.
Great message. I'd say my message, I'll send a message both to men and women out there. I'll start with the ladies. Ladies first. Ladies, again, if you're wondering, oh, where are the good men at? Why can't I find a guy to date me, take care of me, blah, 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 blah. Look in the mirror, and this is me saying this, in a positive way, not to hate, not to throw shade or anything like that. Look in the mirror, see how you can become better as a woman, because you know what? Every positive step you take in the right direction gets you ahead of the competition. It's like us 3. We go to the gym throughout the week. I know Rob and I go a few times a week. I know Czar goes like 4 or 5 times every week. We know that, to put it nicely, we're outperforming we're in our 30s. We're outperforming these guys in their 20s, these kids. They go to the gym, all they're doing is they're on their phones, BSing around, and they're not getting in shape. They're coming in, they're working out, they're just hanging out, having fun, and we're going in taking care of business. So what I was getting at with the ladies is make sure that you take steps in a positive direction to be a better woman, because guys are looking for women. Guys are looking for you, but they're looking for good women. They're not looking for hoes. They're not looking for women that treat men like shit, that are bitches. They're not looking for, again, domestic violence is off the charts, as I say all the time. Anytime a woman puts their hands on a man, that's it. It's a breakup automatic. Done. So all these things, and I know I'm taking it to extremes, but all these things, women need to focus on their attitude, their mindset towards men. I don't know why do all men suck? Hate all men, blah, blah, blah. If you want a man, you have to change to be with said man. And for the guys out there, be your own hero, because these ladies are not going to come and save you. You have to work for yourself, on yourself, by yourself, day in and day out. As we said before, a handful of times, on your purpose. What are your goals in life? What do you want to achieve? Right? What are you focused on? Are you focused on the right things? Are you focused on the wrong things? If you're focused on something wrong, negative, focus on things that are going to help improve your life. The women will be the byproduct of that. Women will come around. They will see, the right women will see that, oh, this guy is doing something good. He's pushing in the right direction. And that's something that she can align with and go on your journey. And doing more of that and improving yourself in all aspects of life. Again, we ran down the list before, status, money, gym, working on your smell, on your hair, on what you wear, all these things. That's going to really get these women to be on the same page with you. You'll have your pick of the cream of the crop, and the opportunities will come. But not just with women, out of life. Focus on your life goals. Go out there and achieve something. If you have a dream, put your mind to it, achieve it. As corny as it sounds, but it is what it is. You have to get out there and make stuff happen to have progression and end up with some good results in life.
And another thing, give up porn too, guys. On top of everything Nando just said.
No porn.
That's one of the biggest issues, I believe, with this generation in today's world is the pornography. The amount of masturbation that's going on where guys can't even hold it in. They have to go in the bathroom stall to masturbate now in their cars. Like, this shit's insane. Like, I've seen videos of this shit on Instagram on my reels. I don't know why I'm getting these real Instagrams.
On the real stamp.
But I'm like, God, like, these people can't hold it in. Like, is it that bad out there with men and just how horny they are? One click away watching porn instead of... Because what happens is, if you guys watch pornography, you masturbate, it doesn't give you any type of reason to go out and to meet women.
It kills drive.
Yep.
It kills your drive to self-improve, to get women. Why do I need to go out and meet women or approach women? I could just watch porn, release myself, get that quick dopamine fix, and I'm good. But when you prevent yourself from masturbating and you have semen retention where you're not watching pornography or playing with your little inky winky, it forces you to go out and meet a girl. You're like, damn, I'm about to lose myself if I don't get laid soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me go out and maybe meet a girl and talk to her.
Yep.
I know I can't fuck this up. My game has to be on point or else I'm not getting laid. Like, that drives you. That forces you to go out. I know it's in a negative light. I understand you're going out and trying to get laid. But at least it forces you to go out and talk to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it pushes you out there. It shouldn't be like, okay, don't masturbate, but you not masturbating pushes you out there. Now you talk to women. It's not yet that you try to meet them and, hey, let's go sleep together right away. No, it's not that. It's just a push out there. So
women, the beautiful thing about women is their senses are so much more evolved than ours as men when it comes to intuition and being intuitive. They could look at a guy who masturbates multiple times in one day, watches pornography, and they just know. Like, women just know, like, damn, this dude doesn't get laid. He just masturbate. Like, women can just pick up. I can fucking look at a guy and know that.
Women are very intuitive.
Like, women are very intuitive, bro. Like, they know that. But when you have semen retention and you have that drive, you're expelling at the gym, you're expelling when you're out, you're using it for good, as if that is your superpower. Women sense that, bro. They're gravitated towards you. I've done it many times.
Women will know when you're confident, when you are just flying.
And you don't have needy
air.
energy. You don't have needy energy. You don't look at women as a sex object because you don't masturbate to them through pornography where they treat them like sex objects.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you watch too much of this shit, it will program you.
desensitizes
It
you.
desensitizes you. You're looking at women that aren't for you. Let's be real. Most of the time, it's setting like unrealistic expectations, if you want to put it that way, and you're killing your drive because it's all. Most of this shit is all just fantasy. You know what I mean? Stop that shit. Go out and socialize, meet people, work on your social skills. You know, you only got one life to do all this, so don't waste it.
Great messages from the fellas. Anything else, Zara? Anything else you want to add on? Or feel
that's
pretty
it.
good?
Just be on the lookout for my new book called From Porn to Power, because I talked to you guys about my experiences and the results of having semen retention and all the negative things that come with pornography that no one else talks about, the spiritual aspect of it.
Boom. There we go. There we go. So, guys, we hope that, guys and gals, we hope that you learned something, that you picked up on something, that as we do these podcasts, one by one, of course, with Czar, but with the ladies coming on, myself and Rob, these are impactful. You're learning something from them. You know, we don't just bring on, as some podcasts like to say, bimbos on. We'll have a mixed bag, but most of the ladies that have come on have been, not most, they've all been wonderful. All the ladies that have come on. So whether we have agreements or disagreements. So we hope that this is life changing, that you're learning something, that you're picking up on this, and we're growing, but we're growing with you, and we want you to grow and become better day in and day out. So we're gonna sign off now. This is a new experiment, our first time live with our guest, and no one else better to have on than Czar of Dating to start kick our lives off. So we're gonna be doing more live streams, so be ready for that. There'll be a variety of time. It could be an hour, it could be a couple hours, it could be 3 hours, depends on the situation. But we're going up here, guys. So definitely support your boys, the podcast guys. Get us over 1,600. Like the video. If you haven't liked the video, you just it's all free. Subscribing, liking the video, following us on Instagram, TikTok, don't cost you a dime. Had an opportunity to super chat in a question. No worries. We know nobody decided to. Maybe we're a little shy out there, but there'll be more lives in the future. We'll have Czar back. Maybe we might have Czar on with a lady, and we might have a little debate. So it's something to look out for.
Yeah, let's get that going,
be pretty
and
cool.
look out for a call-in show. We're working on getting that set up. We have to get a phone and a line for it, but in the next, I would say, month or two, we will have a call-in show.
Yeah,
So
That's going to be legit.
that's going to be
That's
legit.
going to be very fun. I can't wait to hear these stories.
yeah,
I can't wait until our brains explode.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yep.
yeah. I want to
That's
hear.
coming.
I want to hear some stories, just like the one I have, for example, real quick, where there was a girl that I liked and she liked me, and all of a sudden, she worked at a bar, great girl, and then all of a sudden, 180, just something clicked in her mind that she didn't like me anymore. That things like that happen. Don't know why. Thought she would have been a great girl. Who knows who got into her ear? The people know each other. You never know. So that's just a quick example there. I'll elaborate more on that. Something like that, and more stories in the future, as well as the guys. But we'll do the call-in shows. We're just getting this started, guys, even though we've been on for close to 2 years now. It's incredible. The podcast guys here on YouTube. And, there's more to come. We'll have more with Czar, for sure. Czar is always our main eventer.
Thank you, guys.
Fourth time on.
I love being here.
Great guest.
Yeah.
Fourth time coming on. And
It is the fourth time.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
forgot
sir.
with Jackie and
Jackie and Courtney.
Courtney, yeah.
One time, yeah. We're going to have Czar on, very often, so get used to it. Those of you haters out there, we get our fair share of haters as well. But again, we thank you guys here on the East Coast. It's a little bit past 1, hanging out with us here. We know there's some of you still on. Those of you that'll, hopefully came on late, maybe will watch us once this video posts tomorrow or later this week. But again, before I continue to ramble on, support the channel, guys. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button. We're here. We're here to stay. Support your boys. Follow Czar of Dating, Full Armor of Game, Texting Prince. Again, we're on YouTube and, of course, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, the Podcast Guys _. We are on Facebook and we are on Spotify, the Podcast Guys. Follow us there and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Take care, guys.